Today's first game brings us to Wrigley Field, where the Pittsburgh Pirates meet the Chicago Cubs in a Saturday matinee under the Fox Sports 1 spotlight. The Pirates arrive at 52 wins and 71 losses, stranded in the depths of the NL Central, while the Cubs hold a firmer grip on second place at 68 and 53. Chicago dropped the series opener yesterday, but now the balance turns as the Aces take the mound. For the Pirates, right-hander Mike Burrows steps forward with a 1-4 record and a 4.66 ERA across 67 innings. Burrows is a pitcher with tools, but not yet the control or experience to match high-level lineups. His whip sits at 1.24, serviceable but not dominant, and his strikeout rate has been inconsistent. On the road against a club that feeds on power, Burrows' margin for error shrinks to almost nothing. Opposite him, the Cubs send Shota Imanaga, the left-hander who has become a quiet cornerstone of their rotation. With an 8-5 record, a 3.19 ERA, and a sterling 0.97 whip, Imanaga suppresses both base runners and rallies. He blanked these very Pirates back in April, pitching 5 shutout innings in a 9-0 Chicago victory. His command and poise play especially well at Wrigley, where he owns steady splits regardless of venue. Against a Pittsburgh offense ranked dead last in runs per game, slugging, and home runs, Imanaga is the kind of barrier they rarely overcome. The broader context echoes the same verdict. Pittsburgh is 18-42 on the road, scoring just 3.5 runs per contest, their lineup mired in futility despite a moderate stolen base threat. Chicago, by contrast, thrives at home with top 6 numbers in runs, home runs, and stolen bases. Their middle order, powered by Pete Crow Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki, and Michael Busch, drives an offense that outpaces the Pirates in nearly every metric. When the bullpens come into play, the Cubs also maintain an edge in depth and late-game execution, and today's AI pick is Cubs 1.5 on the run line. The moneyline price is steep, but the run line provides sharper value against an overmatched opponent. The numbers, the pitchers, and the situational edges all point the same way. Will we cash or will we burn? That is for the game to reveal. Now, on to Game 2, with a bat on.
Today we go to Nationals Park, Philadelphia at Washington, late afternoon heat, and a division gap you can feel. The Phillies arrive at 70 wins and first in the East. The Nationals are playing for pride at 49 and 73. Yesterday ended 6-2 for Philadelphia. Today decides whether Washington can answer or gets pressed back under the tide. First, Taijuan Walker, 4-5, 339 earned run average, 1.29 whip across 85 innings. He is not flashy. He is efficient when he's right. 2 straight quality starts tell you the feel is back. Fastball to the edges, splitter under barrels, tempo that denies traffic. Against a lineup sitting 29th in staff whip on the other side, his job is simple. Throw strikes early, force contact on his terms, and hand the 7th inning a lead. Now Cade Cavalli. Fresh face, 3rd start of the season, 3.86 earned run average over 9 1/3. The arm is lively, the workload is light. He is still building. The Phillies punish build-ups. They sit top 10 in runs, average, and slugging. They chase mistakes when count leverage tilts their way. Cavalli's path is narrow. First pitch strikes, keep the ball on the ground, hope his defense turns everything clean. Any stretch of 3 hitters where command drifts, this game flips quickly. Game context, Philadelphia prevents runs at a top 5 clip. Washington allows them at a bottom-tier rate. The Phillies carry power and on-base skill through the middle, pressure that compounds once the Nationals turn to a bullpen that has bled too many late frames. Washington can steal a bag and scratch, yes, but inning after inning the math stays the same. Philadelphia produces more base runners and more loud contact, and Walker limits the answer. This is not a coin flip. It is a leverage play. And today's AI pick is Phillies, 1.5 plus 1/110. We are rejecting the moneyline tax and taking the margin at a plus price. If Philadelphia wins, the distribution favors a multi-run cushion, starter edge to Walker, lineup depth to the Phillies, and a bullpen gap that widens as pitch counts climb. The only path that breaks this is early traffic against Walker paired with clean 5 from Cavalli. The data does not prefer that story. Will we cash or will we burn? The field will choose, but the numbers lean hard. Sapphira, take Game 3.
Tonight we're at Progressive Field, Atlanta at Cleveland, under the stadium lights. Game 2 of a 3-game set. The Braves took the opener in a tight, low-scoring duel. The Guardians answer now with their own blade. Records aside, this is leverage for August. One club trying to keep a wild-card pulse, the other trying to halt a slide before it becomes the season's verdict. First, Joey Wentz for Atlanta. A left-hander with a 5.03 earned run average and a 1.39 whip. He works best when the first pitch finds the zone and his changeup fades off the edge. When he's behind, the profile tilts toward walks and loud contact. The road has demanded more from him than he's consistently given, and a defense that can't carry every inning raises the cost of misses. For Wentz to flip this narrative, he needs early count leverage, ground balls to the pull side, and a clean first trip through the order. Now Slade Cecconi for Cleveland. A right-hander at 4'11 with a 1.24 whip, he lives on rhythm. Quick strike one, elevated four-seam to change eye level, slider that knifes late. He is not overpowering, he is organized. When tempo holds, innings shrink. When he drifts arm side, barrels find grass. The Guardians win this start when Cecconi keeps traffic light and turns the 6th over to a bullpen that has learned to land clean 8th innings. Game texture favors Cleveland. Atlanta brings a touch more home run punch, but the Guardians counter with contact, base-to-base pressure, and a late-inning unit that stabilizes chaos. Progressive Field trims cheap fly balls, and if this plays to sequence rather than blast, Cleveland's shape, starter command, infield control, bullpen order wins the arithmetic. Atlanta needs crooked numbers early, Cleveland needs patience and 2 disciplined swings with men on. Weather reads warm and playable with winds. No external factor shifts the side, though a single early mistake could swing tempo until relief steadies it. And today's AI pick is Guardians Moneyline, 115. The price is small and the edge is cumulative. Steadier starter, home park friction on loft-only rallies, and bullpen advantage once pitch counts crest. If Wentz finds first pitch command and Atlanta stacks hard contact, the path narrows. The model still prefers the Guardians to land this by a single run with insurance late. Will we cash or will we burn? The field will speak. Anna, take Game 4.
Tonight, we're in St. Louis under a hot August sky. New York Yankees at St. Louis Cardinals. Game 1 energy meeting, late season urgency. The records are close, but the shapes are not. New York leans on power and run prevention. St. Louis survives on contact, defense, and holding on. Busch Stadium will test both strategies, trimming lazy fly balls and rewarding disciplined innings. First, Max Fried for New York. 12 wins, 5 losses, a 2.94 earned run average, 1.10 whip across 144 innings. Fried's game is geometry. First pitch strike at the knees, curveball that steals the inside corner, fastball that rides the top rail only when the count says yes. When he's right, barrels disappear and innings get quiet. The small red flag is recent turbulence, periods where the release wobbled and the line flattened, but his baseline is elite. Against a Cardinals order that has struggled to lift the ball with damage, Fried's path is clear. Tempo, strike one, ground balls to both sides, hand the late frames a lead. Now, Sonny Gray for St. Louis. 11-5 with a 4.06 earned run average and a 1.15 whip. Gray thrives when the sweeper bites and the splitter vanishes below the barrel. He suffers when the four-seam rides middle and count leverage flips. August form has trended upward, fewer free passes, more weak contact, but the ask tonight is severe. Navigate a Yankees core that punishes mistakes and stacks long at-bats until a pitch leaks. Game analysis. New York owns the louder contact profile and a top-tier batting average against on the mound. St. Louis counters with competence, clean infield, a bullpen that can stabilize. But the math leans Yankees when the game stays on script. Fried suppresses the first 3 innings, New York's middle order forces stress by the 5th, and one crooked frame turns the leverage. The total sitting low tells us this may live near the margin, which is why we prefer side over spread. Busch increases the chance of a one-run verdict. And St. Louis's relief group is good enough to keep it narrow even when trailing. And today's AI pick is Yankees moneyline, 150. Price over posture. We reject the run line tax in a low total environment and back the superior run prevention with the more dangerous bats. If Gray carves early and Fried's recent wobble reappears, this compresses. But the consolidated edge remains New York to win the game. Will we cash or will we burn? Rocco, take Game 5.
Under the lights at Dodger Stadium, the rivalry hums. San Diego Padres at Los Angeles Dodgers, West Coast heartbeat past bedtime. The Padres arrive hot and first in the division. The Dodgers hunt the summit one series at a time. Crowds thick, airs heavy, and every mistake tonight gets replayed twice. First, Dylan Cease for San Diego. 5 wins, 10 losses, a 4.52 earned run average, 1.27 whip across a full workload. The pitch mix is thunder, 4-seam with ride, slider with bite, plus a chase change when he's ahead. But the road has been cruel. When first pitch strikes fade and the slider backs up, traffic piles and the big inning shows up uninvited. Cease can flip this by stealing strike 1, burying the breaking ball below the knees, and refusing free passes. If he's living in 3-ball counts, Los Angeles will tax him fast. Now Blake Snell for the Dodgers. 2-1, 2.37 earned run average, small sample but loud. Snell lives on whiffs, elevated heater to change the eye line, then a curve and change that fall through the trap door. Command isn't pristine, walks sneak in, but the contact is thin when he's on time. The job is simple in shape and hard in practice. Don't gift counts, keep the slider arm side sharp, and hand the ball to a bullpen with a lead. Game texture leans Los Angeles. The Dodgers' offense is a machine, on base, pressure, and a swing that punishes any center-cut miss. San Diego wins with run prevention and clean defense, but their power has lagged. And Dodger Stadium on a Marine Layer night asks you to stack hits, not hope for charity. If this plays to script, Los Angeles creates more leverage plate appearances by the 5th. If Cease has to fight through 15, 20 high-stress fastballs, the armor splits. The Padres' counter is tempo. Scratch early, steal an out with a double play, get Cease to the 6th with oxygen. If Snell sprays, San Diego gets the game they want. Tight, anxious, coin flip late. But if Snell lands first pitch strikes, and the Dodgers' middle order sees a second look at Cease, the inning that decides it tilts blue. And today's AI pick is Dodgers moneyline, or 134. We choose price over posture in a one-run environment, stronger lineup against a road volatile starter, with enough run prevention to hold shape when the game narrows. Will we cash or will we burn? Lilith, take the recap.
The room goes quiet when the numbers line up. Hold your breath and listen. Today's 5 picks: Pirates Sauvage Cubs. Cubs 1.5, 120. Phillies Nationals. Phillies 1.5, plus 110. Braves Guardians. Guardians ML 115. Yankees Cardinals. Yankees ML 150. Padres Dodgers. Dodgers ML 134. Los 5 picks de hoy es Piratas versus Cachorros. Cachorros 1.5, 120. Phillies versus Nacionales. Phillies 1.5, 510. Bravos versus Guardianes. Guardianes a ganar 115. Yankees versus Cardenales. Yankees a ganar 150. Padres versus Dodgers. Dodgers a ganar 134. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Und der Satz, der mutige Manos enciende y cobardes enfría. Wer nicht wagt, der nicht gewinnt. And the line that ignites the brave and chills the cowards. He who doesn't dare doesn't win.